What happens when we die? Is there an afterlife? Do we go to heaven? Or even worse, hell? Can we communicate with the dead? And if we can, should we? Let's find out.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 38 of Pedro Paranormal. As you can see, I'm here with a special guest today. Actually, today's a very special episode because it's my first guest in studio since the whole COVID
Yes.
COVID thing, and we are being safe. We have a little, a shield right between us. But anyways, this guest, she's been on the show before. I believe it was episode 28, the San Pedro hauntings episode.
Yeah.
And she's back, to share some more of her stories and also some of the stuff that's happening to her personally. With she does a show, she's in a movie, so all kinds of things.
Lots of fun
but anyways,
yeah.
welcome back to Damian Franko. How are you, Damian?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
It's a good day.
Good. So I know you've been busy because you're doing, you just finished filming a movie.
Yeah, we just finally finished it.
And you're also doing that show you do.
Yeah,
right?
I do live at TV on B Movie TV.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun. B Movie TV Classics.
Yeah.
It shows on Roku.
And
every Saturday night. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm glad you made time for us because I know right now, with your movie, your show, and also because the reason my my real co-host isn't here is because of a family emergency he had, called the World Series.
Yeah, that one.
Carlos.
How dare you, Carlos? And thank you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have Damian here. So Damian, I know last time we spoke about some of the hauntings. You experienced. You're right down the street from us, right?
Yeah.
Right down from where we're filming right now. And I was able to contact one of the families that lived there after Damian, and they did tell me that they had some paranormal stuff happen. Like I think it was sounds of somebody running in the house at night and knocking sounds, a lot of knocking sounds. But the thing is, the family is very religious, so they don't believe in the whole thing of a ghosts. Yeah. They think it's more like demons and all that stuff.
All the evil
stuff.
Yeah,
so I called Damian right away after I found out this information, and she did tell me that. You told me that you spoke to someone else, right? That had said that they also had.
It was someone that lived there years ago. Her and her son lived there.
Yeah.
And I asked her. She's like, "Oh yeah, I used to turn the TV on and off." Never. Okay. She confirmed it for me because it was like when it first started happening, and I used to work at Seaside Pharmacy, so she came in. I was like, "Hey, I just got to ask you a question. Like, did you ever hear noises when you lived there?" She goes, "Oh yeah, you have ghosts." I didn't even have to finish saying anything else because she just confirmed it.
Yeah. So
scary.
I think last time after we finished filming, you had told me that you had other experiences, right? Was it in the same house or was it different?
Same place. No, same place. I mean, I was there for 17 years, like I was telling you last time,
right.
and stuff started happening like after 5 years of already living there, or I started noticing them. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
So I know last time you told us about the little boy. Was it a little boy?
Yeah.
There was a little boy and the whole thing of
where we saw him.
The sounds and all that. But was there anything else besides the little boy that you saw?
Yeah, I mean, well, my son had seen. I could tell you this story.
Okay.
So, like before, I said I stopped sleeping with the lights completely off for many years. I still won't do it because of that house. But me and my boy Jack were laying in bed, and he's like, "What's he doing?" And I said, it was just me and him living there. "What's he doing?" And who doing? He goes, "Him." And I'm like, "Who's him?" He's like, "The little boy." And he's pointing over there, and I'm like, "I don't know, Jack, what's he doing?" Because I didn't see anything at all. And he goes, "He's in timeout." And he goes, "Shh." And I was like, okay, Jack, let's go to bed. It was like one of those things where like I believe that he saw stuff because I would, everybody experienced stuff there, but like when it comes to kids, and him saying like he's in timeout made me wonder what really happened to that boy, because I believe it's the same boy that me and Joel saw hiding. And it's like I don't know if the kid was in trouble or like for something he didn't do, just like bad parents or so, I don't know what, but that was just creepy to me, very creepy. So
this was the same house then?
Same house.
Okay.
Same
and
house.
Did anybody like any of your friends ever see anything? Like
they would feel a tap, or a couple friends would come over and I would start explaining something, and they would make a noise, or open a door slowly with no windows open and the front door closed, but the hallway door, I'm like, oh yeah, and the hallway scares me, and then it's like, and I'm like, okay.
Kind of what I did with the gate when you got
here. They're like, gotta go. I have friends that have never returned because of stuff like that. But
that's right. You said that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So after you moved from that place, you moved to Pedro again, or were you?
I've
you've always stayed Pedro.
I moved around a little bit, but always in San Pedro. I moved to 23rd in Leland.
Okay.
For a bit, but now I'm back.
And did you have stuff happen like everywhere you went, or was it?
Well, you know what? Actually, over there on 23rd, there would be like if there was somebody in front of you smoking a cigarette, like in your face, and the smell was so strong, like they were in front of you, like, and it smelled like a musty, like an old person smoking, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that was like over there, that kind of stuff, and it would happen once in a while. But
so it was never that kid again. It was just
no. And that kid.
Because I was thinking that maybe the spirit followed you.
It was just us. I still sometimes feel that like like it's
You feel like somebody's there?
Yeah, because I'm a caregiver now, and I work right next door to where I used to live in that haunted place, and I literally, when I'm in the backyard watering her plants and stuff, I feel them looking at me, and I don't know how to explain it. But the windows from where I used to live, I work right next door to where I used to live.
Yeah.
And I'm in her backyard watering, and I look over to the house, the windows, and I hate looking over at that place because I get that like it's pulling me back in. Like, I don't know, they're just watching me. And I don't want to sound crazy, but that stuff happened, man. Like, I don't know, I have quite a few stories from that place.
So I mean, have you ever experienced anything like not in a house, but when you go maybe to like a museum or anything like that?
Not like that. Actually, last week when I was doing the show with Ken at his studio, and I didn't tell him this, but I'm sure he'll watch this.
He's gonna find out.
But we're in the middle of doing our I co-host that show, and we're standing there and I'm talking, and I felt something like
touch you,
do this on my arm, and it was like a up and down where it felt like somebody was
caressing
there
you,
touching my arm, and I'm like, and then I started thinking, well, I know what I'm going to tell Tony when I come, but it was like I didn't say anything. I had to continue the show, and it eventually stopped. So, but there's things like even when I used to go on walks with my son Jack, he would say, "Who's that?" and nobody would be there. I wouldn't see it, but he would like do this,
like he's following you.
Yeah, even at Mary Star, I took him into the church one day because I wanted to show him. He was probably 4. And he's like, "Who's that man? What's he doing?" And just stuff like that. But I mean, I think that most of the people that would come over my house, they had heard something or saw something, and where they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned Mary Star, because for those that are watching that don't know what Mary Star is, a church not too far from here, but my wife. Actually, she goes to church there once in a while, but on one of the, what do they call it, like Sunday talks they do? Is it a talk?
Something like that. Yeah,
I don't go to church.
Something like that.
I don't go to church.
I'm a Mary Star girl. So.
Yeah, so she went to church one Sunday. This was maybe about a year ago, and the priest, are they called priests?
Yeah, priest, yeah.
The priest was giving a talk, and he started
A
saying
sermon or something like
a sermon,
Yeah.
and he started saying that I guess the previous night when he was, because the church has like these long build, it's like a school, it's a school and a church, and it has these long hallways and there's offices, and I guess he said that he was sitting in his office, and at night he said a demon appeared to him, like in front of him, and he told him to go away. So he told that in the sermon. So it doesn't surprise me that you said,
wow.
that your little boy saw something there.
Yeah.
So
that's scary. Like, I mean, the priest for sure knows what to do when they come.
And I don't think the priest was lying.
No. Shame on you if you are. No, babe.
Yeah, but you know what? It's crazy because we've talked about this on previous episodes, how children are very, it seems like they're very sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that mostly see, the spirits, almost like with the animals and stuff.
Yeah, they see more. Like, Jack would come running scared at times down the hallway and tell me that he would see a monster in the room. And there was this one time that he's like, oh, there's a monster was screaming. I'm like, what did it look like? And he said that he just does this. And he does this thing where he opened his mouth and he does this with his fingers. And I'm like, oh, just like the movies, the scary movies where the face is like, ah.
And Beetlejuice.
Yeah, like that. He's like, I didn't even say Beetlejuice. He's like, and that song comes on. Yeah. So I was like, oh man, it's showing itself in the most evil way to my son.
Yeah,
and I was very upset about that. But Jack would, can I tell you another thing?
Oh, go ahead.
Is that cool?
Another story. Cool.
So one day I was getting ready in the bathroom, and the long hallway, and then the farms in front of the house. So I'm in the back getting ready in the bathroom, and you could hear my son Jack talking like, yes, okay, and you could hear like a woman's voice, but not clear, like, wah, 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 wah,
oh, kind of like in Charlie Brown.
Like that, wah, 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 no, but it was like a night, like sweeter.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 like it's muffled, but you could hear that they're in conversation. So, and I'm like, that's not, I don't know what the hell that is, but I go down the hallway, and I'm like, and Jack's sitting there on the couch like this, almost like he got caught. And he's sitting there and he's smiling. And
wait a second, what house was this?
Same freaking one.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's crazy because you
So
said
much
that
stuff.
he had seen that little boy that was on timeout.
Yeah.
And now with this lady, almost like what's the word they use when somebody gets punished? Scolding or?
Yeah, but it was like she was almost like she was asking him questions, and he was answering her, like in and he's like, yes, almost like Poltergeist. I don't know why I'm thinking of the little girl right now.
That's the first thing.
Yeah,
I
just thought about that right now, and I never put that together. But I was like, what are you doing? He's like, nothing, and then I'm like, who are you talking to, Jack? He's like, just shaking his head like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone because I know he was talking to himself. Like, I heard it, and he was like he wasn't supposed to tell.
You were never curious to be like, because I've always imagined, like, if my kids got haunted, that I would be like, okay, tell me where it's at so I could talk to it.
Oh, no, I didn't want to talk. Well, I didn't want to talk to this thing, but at times I would say, look, because when I was pregnant with Jack, when he was in my tummy, I would say, look, it's cool that you're here. I know you're here, but when I have this baby, do not bother my child.
Yeah.
And it didn't listen. Damn that thing. Yeah, because then after that, it just started getting, like, evil because, like, I don't know. It was just, there was good ones where I was like, I know you're here. It's cool. And then there was, like, the scary ones where you feel it in your soul and you're just don't even want to be there, and you don't know if you want to go to sleep or if you want to stay awake. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I just stayed.
Did you ever experience anything when you were a child? That you remember now?
I was always scared of my
closet.
Yeah, always scared of the closet. The closet door always has to be closed, right? But my grandma, both grandmas actually, would have that eerie feeling, and it's funny because my dad was just telling me, he's like, oh, Grandma Franko's house was haunted. Like, I'm like, wow. I go, really? I go, because I never told anybody, but I would always see a face, like a thing when I would look in the oven when I was little, and I would always be scared of the oven. I'd look in there, and there was this thing.
Yeah.
And I want to say it wasn't my imagination, but who knows?
Well, you know, it's funny because on the previous episode that I did, I actually told a story that I had when I was a child, and I also saw a face.
Yeah.
And that seems, you know, I've heard different stories from different people of when they're kids, and they have that happen where they see a face.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe that's like more of a loved one that's
Oh,
looking after something.
maybe. Was it a friend? Do you remember it
Well, the
being
thing is, like I told the previous, the guest I had, it wasn't a scary face. It
Yeah.
actually smiled at me.
Oh.
But you know, I was
scared.
like 6 years old. It freaked me out because it was just a face.
Smiling.
It was just a face with no body.
Yeah. Mine was just a head too.
Yeah.
But mine looked like I always imagined that it looked like a scarecrow. It was scary. I was scared of a scarecrow. I was scared of it, and I didn't want to look in the oven every time we go over there, but like something made me do, like, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
But 6, that's really you remember that.
And I remember it was almost like glowing, like light coming out of it.
Yeah.
And it just smiled at me, and
it had to be a loved one then, for sure.
it had to be,
Ellen.
yeah. And I was
Even though
thinking,
you're scared,
thinking it was my grandma, because my grandma had just passed away, I think a year before that.
Yeah.
So
That's how they come sometimes.
who knows?
Yeah. Hey.
Well, you know what? I know we talked about this before. That actually I spoke to your dad.
Yeah.
And he told me that he had experienced something, and I told you to ask him the story, so hopefully you can share that with us right now.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Okay, so him and my uncle Tony Rodriguez, they were walking. They went to their friend's house for a party or whatever. This was over 20 years ago, maybe late 20, early 30 years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad said him and my uncle Tony were walking. It was 4 a.m. I'm like, what are you doing at 4 a.m, Dad? Anyways, they're walking on 9th Street, and they were looking towards 10th Street, and they saw this tall figure with a pointed
head or pointy, yeah.
Pointed, really tall. And he's like, it was the weirdest thing. He's like, we just stood there and was watching it walk, because they both saw the same thing. They were like, it took them back a little, and that it wasn't like it was like see-through, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You could see through it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like foggy in the morning, of course. And they said it was just walking, and he's like, it was just had this weird like walk, almost like a floating, like, he goes, you know how ghosts do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad, I do. So it's like floating a little bit, walking, and then so it was walking like if it was coming down from the hill towards 10th Street.
Okay.
And on 10th Street is that church building that used to hold Ku Klux Klan meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going towards that way, and it actually dissipated like while it started getting closer.
Yeah.
So they saw the side of this thing, they watched it until they saw the back of it, and then it just kind of like disappeared.
Yeah, and I remember when he told me the story, and you know that when he mentioned that building, that old building's still there, and they're actually gonna tear it down. They're gonna make apartments.
That's
so you know what I'm thinking?
Yeah, my dad's like, is he gonna go and try to get in there and try to?
No, you know what I'm
what
I'm thinking. I'm already thinking ahead. I'm thinking when they make this building, I wonder if there's gonna be activity in the building because of everything that happened there.
Yeah.
You know, if they're gonna be able to see the spirits inside when it's apartments.
Yeah.
But when he did tell me the story of seeing this tall figure, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe the spirit, because a lot of times spirits use, like when I do let me see here. When I do the EVP recordings, you know, I use this, and this is like a little scanner that scans through all the radio stations, and the spirits use it to pick up words and answer questions. So I know there's also other equipment that they use with lasers, because sometimes the spirits they'll cast a shadow, and you'll be able to see it. So the thing is, this reminds me a lot about your dad's story, because he did mention that it was foggy.
Yeah.
And kind of see-through. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe he used the fog, and that's why you were able to see it. If there was no fog there, he probably wouldn't have seen anything. Almost like almost like a projection.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen this, but in some theme parks, I think Disney does that. They use like fog machines, and then they project on the fog.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So that's what I was thinking. When you told the story,
sense.
I was like, you know what? Yeah, that you know, the
That
Ku
is
Klux
a
Klan,
trip,
the fog. It was transparent. It dissipated.
Yeah, and it had to be one of those. Like he said that he went and to his mom, my grandma Franko's. He went to his mom's house after he saw that, because him and my Uncle Tony were talking, they were like, oh my God, what did you see? Like, their stories were exactly the same. They're like, that's exactly what I saw. And they were just kind of like, oh my God, like, let's not tell anybody. And I guess they told people, but he went and told my grandma Franco, and she's like, oh yeah. My dad's like, what's on 10th Street? Like, and he told her what he saw. She goes, oh yeah, they used to have those meetings there, and the group, the clan, would get together and walk from that church, from that hall, and walk all the way up the hill, and they would light like a cross on fire, and they would do their thing over there. And so my dad's like, I think it was walking from there back to the building or whatever.
But you know what, I'm glad he was able to share that with us. Because
he said, he goes, I have a handful of stories. He's like, let me know. It's like,
and you know what, I actually did go after he told me this story. I actually did go to that building at nighttime, and I parked in the front, and I walked up the steps, and I started asking questions, and I started hearing like a weird sound, like a moaning. And I was all like, "Oh crap! Like there's something here," and it wasn't just on the recorder. It wasn't on the recorder. It was audible to my ears. So, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm kind of freaking out because it's pitch black. They don't put lights at night.
I know.
So I was by myself.
Oh my God!
But then I started looking around, and right like in the corner in the front, it's kind of like a square inside. Right in the corner, there was a homeless guy, like just covered in a bunch of like newspapers.
Yeah, because that was probably like, wait,
and so I think when I was asking the questions, it was waking him up. So. There was no ghost. It was no ghost.
It was him moaning?
It was just a homeless dude.
Oh my God, he was moaning over there. That's moaning. That's funny.
But you know what? I'm so happy that you came in and were able to share these stories. But you know what? Why don't we now, jump into the whole thing of this movie? I've been, this
is so fun.
I wanted to have Damian back to talk about these hauntings and stuff, but I actually got to watch the film, before its release date. Ken sent me a digital copy. And it was awesome. It was awesome. I really had fun watching it.
Oh, good.
And I was telling Damian that this film, if you guys have seen the Death Park films, because some of them are on YouTube, right?
Yeah, all of them will be on YouTube. Like you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like
the previous ones are on YouTube, and I did watch them, and they're cool. They're cool movies.
Yeah.
But this movie. It's more like a movie. Yeah. The other ones were more like kind of like a little short, like a commercial.
Little spigots or whatever.
Yeah. And you know what? It's just people getting killed and stuff. Yeah. And it's cool. It's cool because you see the practical effects kind of side of filmmaking, which is not really done anymore. Yeah. But this movie, just the story, the characters are. Like very well, like they have you get attached to the characters, and that's one thing I love, because I'm a movie buff. I watch a lot of movies, and I'm at that point now where I can't watch movies that really don't have the character build up, because then if there's just a bunch of slaughtering, I really don't care for them, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
But this movie, you actually care about the characters. My favorite character, Mark.
Yeah, he did really well. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we were just like, when we did our viewing party the other day, we're like, we cheered. Like it was really good.
Yeah, and you know what? You came out in the film. It's more of an introduction for you. For your character.
He has it designed that way.
Why don't you talk about the film?
So he has it designed he introduces me into the movie, and my character's name is Shady. Mm-hmm. And
you know what? Before we get into that, why don't you tell us what is Death Park? Like, where did this
how? It's you mean like what and why, where, when, how?
Like, how did this start? Yeah. Like, I mean, what was the whole thing? Just killer in a park?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't around for number 1, 2, 3, right? So I don't know
when you got into it.
When I got in, I was in number 4, and like I said, if you watch them all, you'll see what my part is in that. It's a little tiny,
just real quick
spot, and then I come back and this one, number 6, and it's just this guy, is murder dude, he wears a mask. He's the masked murderer. So he goes around killing people. People, like, he hides and stuff, like, and jumps out and kills them, or he just ends up everywhere. Yeah. And this group of people are just finding bodies, and then the police aren't doing anything about it. So we're just trying to take care of it ourselves at this point, trying to find this dude.
So your character on the fourth one, I think.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with this character.
Actually, it does.
It does.
There's
right?
a reason I'm in this one.
Okay.
Because
and we're gonna find that out in the next one.
Ties with number 4. Yeah, okay. I have ties with number 4.
Yeah, we're not gonna give any spoilers because we want people to watch the film.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And this one, it's the funny thing is I'm always smiling in real life and like happy. And if you know me, like if any of you guys know who I am, probably never seen me not smile. If you want to see what I look like when I don't smile, watch the movie because my whole character is completely different than what I would even.
Yeah, you know when I saw your character come out, it reminded me a lot of Kill Bill.
Oh, okay.
That kind of
yeah.
So really cool.
I like that.
Yeah, so
that's a compliment.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited for the next one now because I want to see some like real battling, you know.
This number 7, I'm excited. I get to be one of the mains, and yeah.
So this film, did it take long to do it, or
over several months? Okay. To get everybody to have like a certain schedule. Yeah. I was there filming every other Sunday. They were filming almost like every Sunday because there's a lot of different things going on. But it was really cool. My brother Mike Franko
that's right.
is in it too. And right. They were like, how did you like, filming with your brother? And I liked it. It was really cool.
Fun, huh?
I like that. Yeah, I got the 2 Frankos in there.
Yeah.
I did notice. 2 of the Franco 5. So.
I noticed that. I was telling Damian that at the end I was reading the credits and stuff, the names, and I noticed there was another Franco.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You're like, wait a second.
It's either the brother or cousin or something.
Got my niece in there too.
Yeah. So I mean, you know what? Shout out to Ken because he did a great job.
He did so great.
Did a great job. That intro. Oh man. I don't think he'll mind if I talk about the intro.
Go ahead. No, because he played it on Facebook. Yeah.
I love that intro because when I saw it twice. I watched the movie twice. But on the first time, I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, this camera's going all over the place. You see all these things. And once I watched it, I kind of forgot about it. And when I rewatched it, it's like a rewatch film. You have to watch it a couple times.
Yeah.
When you rewatch it, you notice that those are all the objects that are used to kill people.
Yeah.
So that
was
good.
That
was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
that little part was fun to record because he's like, I need one of you guys to come with me on this day. So we went and we had to like place all the stuff. And while he's recording, I had to follow him and pick everything up all the way and we were like huffing and puffing and sweaty. Yeah. And it was a hot, pretty warm that day. And we got up to the thing and we're like, man, we're old. We finally made it all the way back up top. And we were just so out of breath from just that scene. Yeah.
And you know what? I do want to mention that I am going to be giving, from the San Pedro Paranormal channel, we're going to be giving away 5 copies of the film. And they're gonna be autographed by Shady herself.
Yeah.
So if you want,
cash that in.
if you want to try to get one of these copies, the 5 copies that we're gonna give away, just go ahead and like this video and share it, and also subscribe to the channel. And there's gonna be a secret word right here that you have to comment. And if you leave that word in the comments, you'll get a free copy for the first 5 people. And then after that,
so cool.
we're gonna leave some information on where you could purchase the film if you don't get to get a free copy. We'll leave a link at the bottom. For the it's gonna be sold on a website or.
Yeah, I mean he'll have it sold. We'll have all the information. I mean it'll be. It premieres. The movie premieres on Halloween.
Okay.
So on Roku, on B Movie TV channel, on Roku. If you don't have it, get it. And so we go on. It goes on at 10, but not that specific movie. He's gonna do them in order. So I would say after an hour into the show, they'll play the movie.
You know what? I have a feeling that this film is gonna start getting like a cult following. I don't know. I just have a feeling, and I think eventually you guys are probably gonna have to do like a. What do they call it when people go and they get them signed by like all the cast?
That'd be cool.
I have a feeling. I don't know. It's just really good.
It was just great fun.
Yeah.
I loved
good movie. Death Park.
Death Park 7. No, it's coming up. Death Park 7 is coming up. We're gonna start filming that in a few weeks. So that will be we only get a few weeks off, and then we're gonna start filming in November for the
So
next.
you're gonna be busy.
Yeah, I've never been so busy in my life.
I know.
I'm
I mean,
just-
you do the.
The B movie
you're
TV
a
classics.
full-time mom.
Yeah, full-time
First
mama.
of all, mom. Caretaker.
Yeah, caregiver. Yeah.
Do the movies. Well, you do the
We
co-hosting.
Our co-host the show comes on every Saturday. Roku B movie TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 o'clock at night. Check us out. It's fun. It's fun. I love doing that.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, but is there anything you wanted to mention or a plug or shout outs or
Oh, I got a couple shout outs.
Okay.
So Sunday, October 25th, if this airs, it's my son Jack Nunez's birthday. He's turning 10 years old.
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
say happy birthday, baby boy. I'll make sure you watch this. And I want to give a shout out to my Death Park family because, I mean, it wasn't like a job or you're working. I mean, it's like my second family. You're like having a good time. We're all laughing. Like we do funny little things where he's like, we got to do that scene over because we mess around a lot too. And to get into character is sometimes kind of hard because we're just joking and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, some of those characters also do shows on B Movie TV.
Okay.
So and they're Pedro people, so you guys would probably appreciate that. They got Rebecca Martin, Mary, Caitlin Kinner. They're all Pedro people. Mary Getavay, sorry, gotta say her last name. But they all have a show on there. And you guys should just get Roku and check out our whole channel because
Yeah.
I mean it's a lot of fun.
Shout out to Mark.
Shout out to Mark. That's his favorite.
Character.
And then could I do one more shout out?
Go ahead.
One more. So every day after my shower, getting ready in the morning, I have to play. There's this band called Whiskey Dick Rebellion. It's my friend
You're in
Joel.
a band?
No, my
Oh.
friend's band, Joel Ariano. He sings and he plays the guitar, but he just had a birthday on the 21st, so I want to say happy birthday to him. But Whiskey Dick Rebellion, when the sun goes down, is the name of the song, and I have to play that every day just to get me
Pumped.
going. Everybody needs a song,
Yeah.
and I would check that out. I just wanted to say that because I listened to that before I even came, and it pumped me up.
Yeah, and shout out to your dad for sharing
It's
that
shout
story.
out to my daddy, and I'll have more stories if you ever want me back on the show because he has a handful of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have a lot of them. So
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, by the time you're, the other films being released, you could come back and we'll talk.
that'd be
about
cool.
it.
Yeah, I'm so excited
Yeah.
to see that, start working on that, to see it, to do
Yeah.
it. But
All right, Damian. Well, thank you for being here with us again. It's been fun.
yeah,
Second
thank you.
time.
I have fun.
It's been fun.
Every day.
Don't forget, guys, to like, share, subscribe on the video. The Instagram, all this good stuff. And like I said, if you watch this whole video, you'll know what the secret word to comment is. If you just try to skip to the end and try to cheat, you have to watch the video.
Stop cheating.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see
Thank
you guys
you.
next time.
Bye.